So we're going to go into our favorite scene. Of course, goes along with the romantic part of it. Definitely was scene 38, where there was the bath in that big tub. That was what we all were channeling for. You know, we were channeling for that to come and make it happen, and it didn't disappoint for sure.
It didn't, but okay. So there was that bath scene, okay, and then it panned into the bed scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Apparently, there was 2 versions of that bed scene.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
okay,
I didn't know.
I have to say that to you.
Okay.
So the part where they were going, they were under the covers, right? And then she was asleep, right? Okay, you have to see the uncut version of that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
There's more to it.
Okay.
So I know that you love the bath scene.
Yeah.
I do too. But
the bed scene.
The bed scene. There's like.
It just because in the show, it just him coming up,
right?
Like I'm done, and then like kind of just snuggles with her, right? And that was it. That was like cute.
So the one thing I love about C-drama is versus American dramas. C-drama is they would beat around the bush, and you could kind of decipher on what just happened, right?
Yeah.
You don't need that rated mature audience type of scene, right?
Yeah.
Versus the American way is it's all in your face.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I do like C-drama because of. You know, hinting on things that happened, you know, and keeping it clean. So I do give props to the creators of doing C-drama in general.
A lot of dramas, Asian drama in general, are generally like that. They don't really show any like nudity or anything like that. It's just very much chemistry, so the passionate kissing, and then that's usually how they wrap it up. You know, they wrap everything up and make it like look like a pretty bow on it. Yeah.
All right. So we wanted to talk about characters. 2 questions that we have in mind is who is the real villain, the antagonist or miscommunication?
I mean, he was a villain, he was the villain. It's just he was messed up, he was definitely messed up in the head for sure. And, obviously had trauma through his experience when he was younger, but he didn't do any good deeds. So yeah, in general, he is a villain. And I think it's kind of weird how the majority of dramas are like that, where they kind of play this guy who has, a broken issue, and he's a villain, but trying to twist it and say, oh, well, technically he's not that bad, right. And it's kind of, and then he's like he holds a girl captive, and then she has this like Stockholm syndrome where she's like, oh, I fall in love with him, kind of thing, and it's a very common amongst Asian dramas, and like C-dramas.
I would say. Okay, who's the real villain, the antagonist or miscommunication? I would say miscommunication. I think I would say miscommunication to some degree. If they were to pull all the characters in and just talk about their childhood trauma, it would be a very therapeutic way instead of going out and killing each other off, right? Because it was all about revenge.
It was.
Right?
It was a lot of killing, and there was no mercy.
Right.
It was straight up just murder.
So if you knew, your uncle, right, killing your mom.
To an extent, though, aren't they psychotic?
Yeah.
For you to go to that extreme, it's like you're kind of psychotic too.
Yeah, let's sit down and let's be an adult and say, okay, look.
Let's not be serial killers.
You killed my parents. I get it. You need to be put in jail. Right? Yeah. First of all, he needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
But there has to be an exchange which happens towards the end, right?
Right.
They made peace, right? But it took hundreds of people dying to get to that level, right?
Yes.
So maybe a therapy session would have ended this from a 40 episode to 16.
Well, I don't think. That's why I didn't think he was a miscommunication, because he wanted to kill his own son.
Yes.
Like boy was screwed up.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? What kind of?
The uncle? What is?
Yeah. And I was
true.
just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. The uncle was definitely twisted.
Yeah.
Okay. Which character would absolutely survive in a modern society, and who would be canceled instantly?
Main girl, 100%.
Chang-yu.
She's a badass.
There you go.
She can open
Feminist.
up her own butcher shop.
Yeah, she is. Okay.
Pork chop. She can carry that on her shoulder, and she could butcher those pork chop, and give you a good cut.
She is the ideal feminist.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she could totally independent.
Yep. I could take care of you.
I could take care of you.
She goes, "You my living husband. I'll take care of you." Yeah, exactly. And she goes, "Don't worry, I got you. I got you." She's like, I got
she
you.
was a born leader.
Yeah.
I mean, she could handle the society.
True.
Hands down.
Hands down. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Was there a moment where Logic just left the chat completely? I mean, it's a C-drama. Of course, it's going to be, the logic is kind of a bit off. And we can touch on the strength part, right?
Yeah.
Changi's strength.
Yeah, she's a beast. Apparently, she has like super strength. She kind of reminds me of like a modern, well, not really modern because it's in period pieces, but like kind of like Mulan a little bit, right?
Yeah.
She kind of has that taking the lead of the family and becoming a hero, right? That's her story. So I kind of see that along her storyline is becoming Mulan, right?
Right.
Because she can definitely hold her own grounds.
Right. And I mean, if you talk about logic, come on, it's C-drama. The fighting scenes, they're going against gravity, flying and jumping around, twisting. So there is going to be a little bit of
you see how she took down that big old guy?
Yeah,
one huge guy. I was like, holy crap!
Like imagine us, right? Going against a football player.
Yeah.
So
and taking him down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Some other questions that we have are, okay.
Hello. Cheers.
We're good. Drink break. Okay. All right. The other question we have under final verdict with personality is, if you could rewrite one thing, what would it be?
I think I would have wrote the chemistry to be closer.
Okay.
With the two main characters, I think I would want them to have the sparks earlier on.
Okay. Let's see. What could I rewrite with this? Yeah, I think the romance could be leveled up a bit.
Yeah.
You know, there were some areas where it was lacking.
Yeah. I didn't like how they did it at the very end. Like it was literally like, it's almost like do it at 38 and we end at 40. Like it was very much rushed.
So you know how you talked about one of your favorite scenes was in the bath, right?
Yes.
Okay. That was also one of my favorite scenes, but the other one was the fighting scene, where the part where they were sitting down and there was a bonfire, and that's where she actually found him in the beginning. Right? And that's that fighting scene between them. I think I would have liked it if they rewrote it a bit, where there was a little bit more, I don't know, comfort. He came off a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right. So it more almost like.
Well, he was buried, right? I mean, he was very like he had his wall up, his shield up against everybody else because he didn't know who was coming.
But he came a little bit abusive to me. I felt.
Oh, to her.
Yeah, to her, you know?
Yeah.
But then she actually hit him in the face.
Well, I mean, she's also a strong woman, right? And then he kind of find out, like, oh, it's not that easy. Like, agree. I think his character, he was very more like there was no sympathy, right? In the beginning, he was just like he doesn't have any like feelings, kind of like, just a robot.
Right.
Like he didn't have any feelings and whatnot. I think that's what it was. I think if they had made him more softer, maybe.
Yeah, I wanted him to be a little bit more softer.
Yeah, more softer.
To kind of understand her a little bit, where she's coming from. But I think that scene, it ended off where they kind of went their separate ways a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know it's more of a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
it was a little bit heartbreaking. So maybe tweak it a little bit to show a softer side to him.
Yeah, I think in general, though, he's supposed to be this brute, marquis, like, don't mess with me. I don't need a wife. Kind of, that's the type of guy he is. I'm a general. I could run a troop. I can go and take a lead, a war or whatever. So I think he didn't learn that until he was with her to be gentle and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of a story building between the two relationships. But yeah, I think if they had a softer side, I think he would be more attractive, right?
Yeah.
If we've seen it, we're like, oh my God, we fall for him.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Is there anything else? Let's get into the emotional damage report of this. Did the ending heal you or make everything worse?
I think they kind of did a pretty decent job in putting it together, honestly, because I think when you think about who became the true king, it kind of went along with the storyline because his father was supposed to be the king, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was taken away from the father, so that's why he went psycho. But I mean, after the child, seems like a sensible. With the mom there, seemed like they were much more sensible and respectable.
So you felt
for that generation.
That was a good ending.
That was a good ending, yeah. They end up, falling, and she ended up being a general as well, right? And having a family with him too.
Yeah, I think dramas are tricky. Sometimes you end up feeling worse, devastated, emotional wreck. I think this one actually was a good ending for me to see some closure because there was just, I think this show had more killing than some of the other shows I've seen. There was a lot.
It was a lot.
So if this is your first time
if you're not into that too,
Yeah.
you got to be wary of that. It's going to be happening a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the killing's going to be in there. A lot of gruesome blood and whatnot that will be in there.
But romance, chemistry, and the characters make up for it, and the
True.
storyline. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it.
Highly recommend. Yeah, 5-star.
Yes.
5-star.
Okay, so let's talk about pacing and length. Did this need 40 episodes, or could we have wrapped this up in 16?
I don't think we could have wrapped it in 16. I think it's somewhere along the line of 20, I want to say 28 to 30-ish.
Okay.
Would have been good because there's a lot of filler in there. I think definitely the scene of her going into war and, building herself was a little excessive. I think it could have been shorter. We didn't have to go too long in that scene. There was a lot of scene that I felt like, okay, this is like a dead episode kind of thing. But yeah, I think cutting 10 off episode would have been good, but it was a long one. And I don't think you can really binge it either, right?
Right. I think 40 episode is long. I would agree. Around 25, 30 would be good enough. There were a few fillers where I was to the point where I was like, I'm just going to fast forward this. But, the tricky thing with Cdrama is because there's a lot of back stories,
yeah.
it's hard, right?
You can't really skip.
You can't really skip it.
I feel like the first 10 episodes, you can't really skip it.
Right.
Because that's like where everything is building, right?
Right.
But I think in the middle, though, once you know the characters and you know the characters that they introduce, then I think, you can just browse through some of them. I didn't skip it.
Right.
I watched the whole thing, but it took me a while to finish it.
Yeah.
But I think it did binge on the weekend to get the most of it done.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree to that.
Yeah.
Okay. There are other characters in this show that I would love to highlight, but we don't want to bore you with our long interpretation of the show. Okay. All right. We're getting to the end. So we wanted this is more of a final verdict with a personality type of question. Is this a drop everything and binge drama or a watch while folding laundry one?
It's definitely not a binge. It's really long. I would try to do it during folding laundry. At night, like I do it at night when I have my me time. And I just watch like 5 episodes a night or something like that kind of thing to just get through. But yeah, that's what I did. But if I have to go back and do it, I think I would have done it maybe just a couple weekends, like spend a whole binge it on like weekends or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend finish it up or something.
I think for this question, it depends on the situation. For me personally, like if you're a parent with kids, this is a folding type of laundry type of show. But definitely binge worthy. So if you have the time to watch it, I would say why not?
40 hours.
But it is 40 hours, like Dar said.
40 hours. That's a long time.
So you can multitask definitely, but it's definitely binge worthy if you're up for a binge weekend or week. So I would say that. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with the characters. They're so much fun. They're both eye candy. Both are good looking people in the show. They're definitely and great chemistry as well as you see them build the chemistry. But yeah, overall I think this is a one solid show. The cinematography is really good too. And here I think they did a really awesome job on that. So they highlight their features really well too.
I think they did. There were you can see that they put money into the show
for sure.
There's some Cdramas where you could kind of tell that it was all
low quality
visual effects, right?
Yeah.
But this one they actually put some time and money into it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to add?
The ending of it all, I think they ended pretty well on the 2 main characters. And how the villain, I like how they all ended, wrapped it up nicely on the ending. Yeah.
There was, the ending was satisfying. There were a few characters that I felt really bad about.
Which one?
The main villain and then the emperor.
Yeah,
the emperor. I think that was such a toxic relationship overall.
I agree.
Yeah. But do you feel as though she loved him? Or was it a Stockholm syndrome type?
Very Stockholm, I think, for sure.
Okay.
I think she kind of felt bad for him,
right,
and realized what had happened with him, and I think she had that. I don't know if she really truly loved him,
right,
but she didn't. I don't think she wanted him to die though.
Yeah.
I think she's kind. She seemed like a kind person, right?
Right.
So I don't think she would want him to die. And then I think knowing that he is the father of her child, even though she didn't want a child, or they didn't meant to have kids, but I think she didn't want him to die, you know. But even though he did all this stuff to her, yeah, and he wanted to kill her son, but yeah, I think she, in general, she was just like felt bad for, for the guy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely Stockholm syndrome
for sure,
for sure.
Yeah. So overall, let's wrap up our review. We're gonna give our ratings of how we feel for the show, about the show. We're gonna give it a scale of 1 to 10. Tav's gonna give her rating.
So my rating is a 9.3. Anything that above a 9, I think, is recommended. I think you should definitely check it out. The romance, the characters, the plot was amazing, and so that's how I feel. 9.3.
I also give it a 9. I think it's a really good show. Overall, everything else, the whole film and how it ended, turned out really well, and how I liked it, I liked it to turn out. So I think it's worth definitely seeing it. It's just wasn't like my top tier, but for sure it's one of the top of 2026.
I would agree to that, top 26.
So our average comes out to be about 9.1. So it's definitely a pretty good show, and we definitely recommend it.
Have a good one.